everybody, welcome to episode number 73 of Driftless Knitting. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Driftless Knitter, and you can find the podcast on Ravelry if you search for Driftless Knitting under the Groups tab. I want to welcome you to another episode. Until about 5 minutes ago, I wasn't even sure I was going to film an episode today because I am doing Vlogmas this year, and I thought maybe I would just show off a couple of my projects on a Vlogmas episode and just have that be it. But I think that the proper official podcast episodes are watched by more people. People who aren't able to follow the Vlogmas every day still maybe make a point to watch the podcast episodes, so I didn't want anybody to miss anything if you aren't following my Vlogmas. So this is a really slapdash, quickly put together episode. I didn't even I did brush my hair today, but I didn't even really do anything with it before turning the camera on. I have been running errands and doing some stuff around the apartment. I finished addressing all of my Christmas cards and I sent them out, and I'm so happy. What else did I do today? I was knitting today. I ran to the post office to ship out some packages. I actually had to do a little bit of work today, just for a few minutes. It wasn't that bad. But yeah, something came up and I had to get onto my work email and do some stuff for that. So yeah, anyway, I am here today with a couple projects to show you. Let's see, I have like one work in progress and a couple finished objects, I think. So let's jump right into it. This is probably going to be a fairly short episode, but again, I have Vlogmas going, so I not only will have to edit this and upload this, but also my Vlogmas episode for today. So it's going to be a little short, but I want to keep you updated on what I'm working on. So let's go first with my not finished objects, my works in progress. This work in progress is in my Cottage number 9 bag, my woodland bag, which is awesome, and I love showing this off. This bag is like magical because it turns into a little handbag with handles. It's magic. So I am really enjoying using this. I'm trying to use it more. I kind of feel like this is a really special bag and like I shouldn't be like taking it out of the house, but I need to remind myself that, you know, this is what it's made for. It's really sturdy, it's really well made. I can probably throw it in the washing machine if I need to, so I shouldn't worry. But in this project bag is my latest work in progress, and this is one that I started knitting. I cast on Saturday during the day. I was at work and I cast this on, and this is just a tiny little sweater. I'm knitting this out of Malabrigo Arroyo in the Aguas colorway on size US 5s, and then the border down here, just a little rib border, is done on US 4s. The pattern calls for a size smaller, so 4s, and then I think it calls for US 4s, and then you're supposed to go 2 sizes down for the ribbing, so then US 2s. But I decided I liked the fabric that I was getting with the 5s, plus I didn't have my 4s at work. So that's the real reason why I cast on with my 5s. And then I just decided to go down 1 needle size. I thought it would pull in a little bit too much if I went down to size 3s, so I just did the 5s and then the 4s for the ribbing. This is what the pattern looks like. I don't know if that's blowing it out. It's kind of a small, kind of fuzzy picture, but it's just a basic baby cardigan with some cabling down the front. It's like a V-neck, and yeah, pretty basic raglan construction. It's done by Tracy Darby, as you saw there, and it's called the Bradley cardigan. And I found this one on Ravelry. It was just kind of I wanted something kind of mindless and easy, quick, that I could get done really fast, because I'm doing other gift knits, as I will tell you about later. And this just kind of popped out at me. It has the nice cable going down on either side of the button bands, but then it also is just kind of your basic raglan construction. And you can see here, they curl over right now because there's nothing really anchoring them. But I have the, so you can't really see that very well, just this nice like twisty cable going down the sides. And that'll lay flatter once I get the ribbing on it, and then once I block it as well. So this is being knit for my cousin, who is due with her first baby in January, and we are having a shower for her on the 16th. Sorry, my foot was itchy. The 16th of December, which is a Sunday, so a couple weeks from today, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks from today. So I should be able to get this done. Like I said, I started it Saturday. I will hopefully get a good chunk of knitting time today. I already kind of thought I would have gotten more knitting done today, but things have just, I don't know, things have come up. I've been sort of putzing around. I had to run the errands, and I find myself, I'm probably not alone in this, but I'll go on my phone and I'll just like check to see if I have any, you know, notifications or anything like that, and it's like 20 minutes later, I've been scrolling, I've been liking pictures, I've been looking people up, and I'm like, that's 20 minutes I could have been doing something productive. And I'm not saying that Instagram isn't great, because I love Instagram and I will always love Instagram. I think it's a great medium for artists and us fiber people, and it's a great way to connect with other people, but I do think I waste too much time on there. So I have to kind of break myself of it and only check it every so often, and not like every 10 minutes. Or every time I get a notification or something, you know, like I go on there and check it. But anyway, so that is my really only work in progress right now. I have a couple other projects that I hopefully will get on the needles very soon. I just decided yesterday that I'm going to try and knit sweaters for my my two nephews and niece. They're my cousin's kids. I call them my nephews and my niece. And yeah, I'm feeling like I might have overcommitted myself. The sweater I'm gonna do for my oldest nephew of my cousins is almost an adult sweater. It's an adult, like extra small, but it's out of worsted weight yarn, and it's a very simple like pullover. And then my niece, I think I'm gonna do a DK weight sweater. Again, pretty simple, like quarter length, 3/4 length sleeves, so hopefully that won't take so long. You know, yeah, basic construction. And then my littlest nephew, who's only 3, again, another kind of simple sweater. That one, worsted weight yarn, that one won't take that long either. But I also have to realize that I do not have as much knitting time as I used to before I met and then lived with Seaver. I had hours and hours of knitting time, like it's all I did besides work. And even at work, my last job, I was able to knit during the day. I got so much knitting done at work and so much knitting done at home, and now, you know, it's different. I am in a different place in my life, and I'm not able to like get a sweater done, an adult size sweater done in a week. You know, I've done that before, and in the past, not anymore. So I just have to, when I'm coming up with these ideas, I have to remember that I'm not, yeah, I don't have gobs and gobs of time. But at the same time, I really, really, really want to try and get it done. So the good thing is that I'm not seeing them until the weekend after Christmas. So like the 29th, I think, the night of the 29th. So I will have a few extra days, and if I don't get it done, I will just give it to him almost done and then tell him I will send it to him later. They only live you know, maybe 2 hours away or something, so it's not like I never see them. But yeah, so anyway, just wanted to update you on my craziness. Otherwise, oh boy, I'm trying to rush this a little bit, and I should just slow down. Otherwise, I really only have one more Christmas project to knit, and then a little bit of finishing. I'll show you that in just a second. I don't know why I brought all of this over here. So actually, well, I'll show that now. So I knit my sister some slippers for Christmas because I knit her a pair a few years ago, and she says she has like worn them down to tatters. So, and these slippers are not easy to wear down, so I know she uses them. My mom and my stepdad both went through a pair of their slippers too. I had to re-knit them because they wore them so much. That's awesome though. So these are made out of Cascade 220, just their regular worsted weight yarn. And this is out of stuff I had in my stash. So I'm hoping she doesn't mind the colors. They look very camouflage to me. And yeah, I hope she doesn't mind. She does like the color green, but they're a little camouflagey. And these are also going to be felted. So before you ask me how big my sister's foot is, these will be felted. So these are the felted clogs. I forget who the designer is. It was not a Knit Simple pattern. I'm trying to think of what the brand of pattern is, but I've knit a million of these. If you go to my Ravelry page and you click on my projects and scroll down, you will see about 20 pairs of these slippers. They're so quick. They knit up so easily. Yeah, I have done 20 pairs of them, but believe me, they're really fast. I can knit one of these slippers in a day. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So these come out to be more like clogs. They have a really thick bottom and this kind of like bumper thing on the edge so that you have a really nice like base to step on, and they have a double sole. So these, I will sew both of these up. That's the finishing that I have to do yet. I'll sew both of these down the middle together to make a, you know, obviously a solid bottom. I don't want a slipper that has a big, you know, crack in the bottom. And then when they're felted, they make a really nice, thick and cushy bottom. So, and then it has this cuff at the top that will felt down. I have a pair of my own. I think they're over by the door. They're kind of worn out, but I was wearing them around today before going to the post office. And here's slipper number 2. So yeah, I think these colors will kind of all like blend together, and it'll just be like a mossy, earthy green colors. Like I said, this was out of my stash, and she kind of requested these, and I didn't have time, or I don't know, I had yarn already and I didn't really want to go out and buy more. And besides, these are going to be worn out pretty quickly. I don't know, they're not meant to be like pretty. Well, they are, but at the same time they're just meant to be warm and cozy, and I'm not going to worry too much about specific colors. So yeah, so that is those. I knit those last week sometime. Like I said, it doesn't take too long, so I got them done pretty quickly. The second finished object that I have this week, you guys did see, I think you saw the first one and maybe part of the second one. I can't remember how far I was. Maybe just part of the first one. But these are the World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. I knew I'd forget that. And they are just your basic run-of-the-mill mitten. Really easy, really quick as well. I did this out of a worsted weight yarn. This is Knit Circus Ringmaster worsted, which is 100% superwash merino. And I'm just going to put them on my hands. And I am teaching a class this Saturday at Knit Circus on, it's really to learn how to do magic loop. And this is a really good pattern to learn magic loop on, because you have this really long cuff and it's just a 1x1 rib, and then you get to, you know, you do have to increase for the thumb gusset, but otherwise it's just knit, 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 and, you know, decrease for the top. So I like teaching this to learn magic loop on, and yeah, these just went really super fast. This is the Owl Post colorway in Knit Circus Ringmaster, like I said before. And yeah, they're just really nice. They're not super duper thick. You know, if you're going outside in like negative 20-degree weather, you're gonna want thicker mittens, because if I were to get these wet, you know, I mean, it's worsted weight. It's not, I don't know, it's not like super sturdy. They're pretty flexible. So these would let the snow in probably, but otherwise they're great to just, you know, wear if you're not like having a snowball fight or building a snowman outside. then those are great. So yeah, and these I think are going to be a sample for Knit Circus for a while, to show off the pattern and the yarn, and then also to promote my class. I'm doing one this Saturday, which is sold out, but then I'm also doing a the same mitten class in March. So yeah, so it's going to promote that and our beautiful variegated colorway. So those are the projects I've been knitting on the last 2 weeks. I guess that's it. I haven't done anything with, oh, I knit a little bit of my sock, the pair of socks that I showed you, but it's not really enough to show on the podcast, because I think last week I was on the heel, or last time I podcasted I was on the heel, and then now I've done maybe like 10 rows past the heel. And those are just socks that I have in my bag if I am waiting, or, you know, I don't know, going somewhere in the car and I don't want to bring a different project, then I just grab that one. I think a couple times on my lunch break I did a little knitting on those, but otherwise, yeah, I haven't dedicated much time. And also the cowl that I was going to knit for my mother-in-law, I think I'm going to rip that out. I'm just kind of unsure about the pattern. It's not really what I was imagining in my head, and I think I could do something else and something better with that yarn. And excuse my voice, I have had a cold for the last week or so. I keep forgetting what I've told my Vlogmas videos, or said on my Vlogmas videos, and what I have said on the podcast. So I've talked a little bit about having a cold and coughing and stuff like that on Vlogmas. So if you haven't watched that, I've had a cough and a pretty, I guess you'd call it a chest cold for the last week, and so plus days, some days. Yeah, and I'm getting better, but I think with talking a lot, my voice is gonna kind of peter out here in a little bit. So yeah, this is gonna be a fairly short episode. We're only about 18 minutes in, a little over 18 minutes in, and I just have a couple more things to show you. So let's go into some yarn that I got this week. And I have to admit, I was kind of bad. I was really bad, and I shouldn't have been, because Christmas is coming up, and I'm knitting some presents, but I also have to purchase some presents, so but anyway, I will show you first what I got as a gift in the mail. So this was part of the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, and I really only did one post this year. I granted a wish. I sent off a sock set and some minis to a knitter in Canada, and then I posted my wish, and I really didn't have like anything I was really wishing for. I think I did say something about I wished for some barnyard knits if anybody had a skein, because I have been lusting over that yarn for the last like 2 years since she started dyeing yarn, and I just haven't ordered any. I don't really know why. I've ordered from other people and I just haven't. I think it's because I can't decide which skein or colorway to get, and I don't know. And sometimes when I go on there, some of my favorite ones are sold out. But anyway, not making excuses, because I could just easily order myself some someday, and I will probably. But anyway, I put it on there just in case. And then I said, if not Barnyard Knits, then any other like hand-dyed yarn would be really cool, especially something that I hadn't tried before or that was new or unique. And Melissa, who is Resting Stitch Face on Instagram, she messaged me and asked if she could dye me some yarn. And Melissa does dye yarn. She has an Etsy shop, I think. I don't know if she's been taking a break from it or if she just does little batches here and there. I haven't really seen much about her yarn dyeing on her Instagram. So I think when she was messaging me on Instagram, she did say that she was having to set up a new dye space. I don't know if she moved or if she just had to take her dye stuff down for a while. I'm not exactly sure, but hopefully she's getting back at it, because she does dye beautiful yarn. And she sent me 2 skeins, and I put on there that I loved earth tones and blues, browns, greens, that type of a thing. And so she sent me this first one, which is this beautiful blue kind of, it almost looks like a semi-solid at first, and then you kind of see all these patches of like, is that like a green? There's like some dark green in here, and then some like lighter blues and stuff like that too. So, and this one she named Yarn Wish. Oh, that's really gonna blow out. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yarn Wish, and it's on her Badger sock, which is a 75-25 merino and nylon blend, 463 yards. And this is a really, really soft 75-25 blend. I really, really like this. And her yarn, again, this is gonna totally blow out. Can't even see it probably. It's called Fauna Fibers, is her company name. Couldn't think of that. So then she also sent me another one to kind of match it, and this is a beautiful lighter blue semi-solid, and it also has gorgeous pieces of greens and other colors in there, a little bit of that dark blue. So I'm gonna knit these 2 together. Oh, I didn't say what this one is called. She named this one Driftless Knitter. Yay. And I'm gonna knit these 2 together in a project. I think I know which one I want to knit. It's a new shawl pattern that's out by Miss Babs, and I forget, I think it's called Olives in December. Look it up, it's gorgeous. It has this like sections of 2 color like slip stitches, and then a big section of this beautiful lace pattern, and then more slip stitch, like 2 color slip stitch. So I think this would make a very, very beautiful, subtle 2 color shawl, because there is contrast. There's a lot of contrast between the 2, but then there's like certain sections where, you know, it'll be a little more matching, where this colorway goes into more of that dark blue. But yeah, I think this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful 2 color shawl. Thank you, Melissa. I'm so excited. I have special custom yarn dyed. That's so cool. Okay, so the next thing that I have is, you'll be so surprised, is a few skeins of Abacus Dye Works, one of my favorite hand-dyed yarns, dyed by one of my best friends, Lisa, from Winona, Minnesota. She gave me some yarn to take to Knit Circus as a trunk show for the month of November. It was like the last 3 weeks in November. She gave it to me when we were at Vogue Knitting Live in Minneapolis a couple weeks ago, and then I kept it at Knit Circus, and we, you know, people could come and buy it for the last 3 weeks of November. So Saturday, which was December 1st, I packed it all up and I took it home. I was going to see her yesterday. We were going to meet up at my friend Carolyn's house to do like an Advent mini swap, but the weather was just a little too hairy. We decided not to risk it, and that's what I was doing at the post office. I was sending Lisa and Carolyn their Advent minis. So in a couple of days, I'll get 2 packages with some Advent minis too. I'm really excited. So anyway, before I packed up Lisa's yarn, there's some yarn that I was looking at for the last 3 weeks and I just couldn't send it home. So keep in mind I get a discount. Keep in mind, don't judge me too hard. But this is all the yarn from the last like 2 weeks. So, yeah. I was good all week last week, but Saturday, oh boy, Saturday was bad. Look at these. Oh my gosh. I could not let these go. So this is going to be a 3-color shawl of some sort. And this is on her 80/20 balanced sock base. It's 400 yards. It's a fingering weight, obviously, and this is the russet colorway. And I love, oh, there's a little sparkle or something on there. Okay. I love this burnt orange color. Oh my goodness. It's so good. And then this is, so I'll do the semi-solids first. This is Lakeside on the same base, the 80/20 base. And this is that's her business card. Abby's Dye Works. Beautiful, beautiful blue. And I love that combination anyway, this like blue and orange. But then she had, and she kind of dyed these like to match. So that's why like they go so well together with this speckled. Can you even? I just can't. I can't even. Oh my god. So 80/20 again, balanced sock base, and this is called Autumn at the Lake. So these were just calling out to me, and I had admired them, but I hadn't really decided on getting these 3 until Saturday. Every time I looked at them, they just made me so happy, so happy. So they came home with me. And I regret nothing. I regret nothing. So I did get a couple more, and these were actually the yarns that I had been planning on buying and I'd set aside, and I have a project picked out and everything. This is going to be the Goldfinch shawl by Andrea Mowry, and this is Lisa's DK weight. And I know the Goldfinch takes a sport weight, but I have enough yardage and I'm just gonna make it work. I don't think it's really gonna, you know, be too terrible or too different if I make it out of a DK instead of a sport. So look at those. Oh my gosh. Again, this blue, yeah. I don't know if she named it the same. Yes, it's called Lakeside. So it's the same color as the fingering weight semi-solid blue that I got for the fingering weight shawl. And, oh, sorry, I just feel so goofy. So, yeah, so that's beautiful. And then this one over here, this purple, is called Mulled Wine. Is this one the one that, yeah. So, oh no, that's different. Oh, sorry, I thought this was a different colorway, but it's not the one I was thinking it was. So this is Mulled Wine, beautiful purple, and then to tie those 2 gorgeous jewel tones together, I got this one, which is Fleece and Flannel. Fleece and Flannel. I thought that this one was called Cuddles by the Fire. She had another colorway called Cuddles by the Fire, and I thought that was just the cutest colorway name. So part of me is slightly disappointed that this isn't Cuddles by the Fire, but that's okay. fleece and flannel. I like that too. I love wearing flannel, so it works. But I mean, just look at those colors. Oh my gosh. Ugh, Lisa, stop dyeing beautiful yarn because I spend too much money on it. I know it's my own fault and I need to restrain myself, but. So I was planning on oh my gosh, they smell really good too. So good. So I was planning on getting those 4, the DK weight, and then like I said, as I was packing up the box, these 3 just jumped into my bag. It's not my fault. I couldn't help it. So anyway, that's all the yarn that I have gotten. I am actually expecting a package from Bumblebee Acres any day now. It might actually get here today. And I bought yarn from them a few weeks ago. It wasn't during their Black Friday sale or anything, but it was around that time. It was before, so it was like the week before Thanksgiving. And I think they were just waiting to get all their orders out after their big Black Friday and Small Business Saturday sales. And so I got a notification, I think on Friday, Thursday or Friday of last week, that I was supposed to get my package soon. So I'm really excited. I'm using their yarn for my Christmas Eve cast on, and I got a couple other goodies as well when I was checking out because I couldn't help myself either. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm gonna run myself into the ground with yarn purchases, but it's really the only thing I spend money on besides Christmas now. This is really, Christmas is cutting into my fun budget, my yarn budget, because other than like rent and utilities and groceries, yarn is like the only thing I spend money on. So, you know, it's not that bad. But yeah, with Christmas presents and things like that and traveling to family coming up, I'm like, oh, I can't just buy yarn all the time. So hopefully, I'm thinking this will be one of the last yarn purchases that I make was Saturday. Although, I have to tell you guys something really exciting and really special, and that is that Knit Circus Yarns in Madison, Wisconsin is going to be hosting Molly of a Homespun House. Wow, that looked really creepy. Molly is coming to Knit Circus, and she's bringing all of her gorgeous yarn, and she is going to be there on December 15th, which is a Saturday, and I'm so excited. I can't even comprehend the fact that I'm going to be meeting Molly, who I've been watching and following for 2 years, just about. Yeah, over 2 years. What am I talking about? So she has the podcast Homespun House. If you guys don't know, if you're not familiar with her, she also has an awesome Instagram account. She does stories on her Instagram. She's doing Vlogmas this year as well. And she also has incredibly gorgeous yarn. And I'm floored that she agreed to come. And I'm so excited. So I will probably come home with a skein or 2 of her yarn too. Oh goodness. Well, that's about it from me. I don't think there's anything else going on. Watch my Vlogmas if you'd like. You'll see some more day-to-day, regular sort of daily life kind of thing. I have a lot of fun filming it, and it's been kind of nice because the start of Vlogmas have been my last day of work on Saturday and then my 2 days off. So I've kind of gotten a really good like running start. And I feel like it hasn't really been too hard to get into the groove and then edit the podcast or edit the vlogs and everything too at night. So hopefully that continues through the week and we don't get like super busy and I'm still able to film. Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I'm having fun with it so far. So I hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe, or if you have subscribed, you can still give it a thumbs up. That helps the podcast kind of go out to other people who might be interested in the same things you are, like knitting and gorgeous yarn. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I hope that you keep coming back. And if you are a first-time viewer, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and yeah, I hope that you want to come back for another episode later. I'm gonna stop talking now because I feel like I'm babbling, and yeah, I have nothing more to say. So thanks so much. I hope you guys do things this week that make your heart happy. I will be doing the same. And oh, happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish friends out there. Yesterday was the start of Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to everybody who doesn't celebrate Hanukkah, and happy Kwanzaa and happy holidays. I'm just gonna wrap them all up in one and say happy holidays. This is the most wonderful time of the year, the most joyful time of the year, and I hope you all are feeling it. So thanks so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye.